Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today we're starting Lara Croft GO. Now, the last Go game I played of the Go series, which has now been cancelled by, I believe, Square Enix is the makers of this game series, was Hitman GO, and it sure didn't play out in a way that I liked. But I think there's a much better chance of this one playing. This was the first Go game that I saw that caught my attention. I believe it might have been the first Go game in the first place. It makes a lot more sense to play as Lara Croft doing some puzzles than it does Hitman avoiding getting detected, even though the basic concept is the same. Everything as far as resolutions are pretty basic. By default, I got my resolution 1080p. I turned the sound and music down, way down. It was at the maximum. I still think by default all volume sliders should be in the middle. And I also had to turn it down in Windows volume to 25%, which is about 50% of the time I have to do that in games. There's been some DLC added to this, so it's slightly questionable how many puzzles there are. If there's 32 sapphires, there are at least 32 levels, or there's more than one sapphire per level, and several other collectibles that just weren't in Lara Croft GO, Hitman GO. There also really wasn't, to my memory, a costume collection here, so we could play as the classic Lara Croft in some aspects. This is not really the polygon build of Lara Croft and Lara Croft 1, but it's inspired by that being low polygon, where you get slightly better polygon and in the new design, and then apparently I own Just Cause and I've unlocked that, or this is just by default free DLC. And Deus Ex, I own Human Revolution, so maybe that unlocks that. And I own Hitman games. Hitman, interestingly enough, is kind of the only outfit here that's really too different. I suppose Just Cause is a little bit different too, whereas everything else is still very much playing with these hot pants and a tank top idea for Lara Croft. Seems like there's some also a collection of other outfits you'll unlock playing the game. Communications is just to tell you to follow people on Twitter. This was originally a cell phone game, but it looks fine. It's working with an Xbox One controller, Xbox 360 controller. They say the same. About is the credits. We've already looked at that. We've already looked at the settings and the relics and the outfits. So we've seen everything. The time is now. Let's begin the game. See, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then after those 5 levels, there's 2 extra bits of DLC that you could skip immediately to. I'm not sure how many per book there are. It seems like there's only 5, so at least in the first book, that's not too bad. And I assume that this indicator is at the bottom. The 2 drawers might indicate some kind of collectible or some way to play. I want to kind of rush through this game for 2 reasons. One, I need to rush through this game because I screwed up my scheduling, and this game is going to air pretty close to the time that I recorded it, maybe just a few weeks after I'm recording it. But also, the last Go game I played suffered from me just getting burnt out on it and rage quitting, so the faster I move through the game, the less likely that will happen. So left stick moves you in general directions. I pressed up on the left stick, it moved me to the top right. I think it pretty well figured that out. I suppose I could bring up a mouse, but it doesn't seem like the mouse is going to immediately appear. just because I bump it. It takes a little bit of shifting. And the game seems to, for the most part, understand what I'm doing. And each dot says right stick to find vases. And so this is an interesting compromise between what would have been a touchscreen game before and what is a controller game now. I'm not sure that the game really actually improves in any way by being a controller game. This very well might be better playing with a mouse. Although this is the first instance in a while that I've been able to play anything with a controller, and I kind of like that. Although the controller does tend to be a little bit noisy. So we've got a bridge. There's several achievements in this game. It's questionable as far as what achievements are worth in Steam, if they're worth anything. So that's certainly something to think about. We have also this circle of vision, or circle of persistent vision. So if there was a collectible somewhere over here and I had to walk backwards, that would kind of stink. But yeah, this seems pretty simple. I believe this game was moderately expensive when it came out. Probably, if I was to guess, more expensive than you would like for a cell phone game that really was a tie-in and a bit of an appeasement for the... Here we can see there's a kraken or something, some kind of giant tentacle back there. We just got the a whiff of. See, right stick doesn't seem like it disappears your cursor. Yep. Like the thing about old Lara Croft games is you were fighting monsters, dinosaurs, wolves, bats. Not really monsters, mostly just animals. That's really stopped being the case in the reboot of Lara Croft, and it became a very generic first-person shooter game that, with every new iteration, has put me into a position where I've less and less liked the reboots. So you only get one chance on cracked spots. So if I walked back here, I assume it would crash on me. But unless there's an achievement specifically around the idea of walking on everything, I think I'm gonna be fine. So yeah, one chance and then you fall, and if you happen to fall, notice how she just rolled backwards because I was facing the other direction. And I'm just looking around. I guess I need to go up, and then up, and then up, and then up, and this way, then this way. Press this, then come down, come over here, because if I fell on that, I'd fall right down the hole and die, and do that. Very simplistic things, and I kind of feel like I missed a collectible somewhere, but I'll come back and probably do a second run. This game is not taking very long, and unless the other books are 5 times as long as this book, there's some questionableness here. I got this game as part of, I believe, a Lara Croft bundle on Steam. So effectively, at least from my perspective, I didn't spend any money on it. Or I invested in bulk and thus can hide from my own mental arithmetic how much I actually did spend on it. But I imagine even now you have a chance of spending $3 or $4 on this when it should be closer to it's kind of weird that you can't just jump over there. I guess that's what the plant here is trying to indicate, is that it's blocking your way. Maybe paying a little bit too much for this game. Find all the gems on all the chapters to unlock a special outfit. Well, we did that. So the question is, are these color-coded? Because if these are color-coded, I need to go here and trigger this one. So this moves so I don't fall to my death. So I'm gonna see if I solve this on the first try by doing this. Yep. And then I'll fall and land and be perfectly fine. And then I can come up here and pull this lever and then use this to do that, to do that, to do that, to do that. And are there any things hidden behind black things? Because that would be rather unfair, wouldn't it? And the image certainly shifts with every step you take. Yep, I don't think there's any more collectibles here. So I can just stand here and he's not really gonna do anything. It's just pre-programmed. So yeah, this game feels a lot more like the original Tomb Raider games as I understand them. However, I haven't really played any of the original Tomb Raider games. I only got into it with the reboot. I own the old games, but they're hard to get running, despite a few fan projects. One fan project in particular saying they weren't a fan project or being not in the final stages of negotiating the ability to re-release their fan project to get the old games running. I don't think Square Enix has any real interest in the old Tomb Raider series, and for the most part the reboot is just an excuse for microtransactions at this point. So she automatically just went up there and grabbed that. I didn't click any button or do anything. And so, unless the game is going to add some difficulty with this and add some timing, which kind of gets in the wrong direction for a puzzle game, particularly a puzzle game designed to be a mobile game, I'm sort of confused as far as what's going to be added to add some more complexity here. Interesting. So I have one key, and once I get the other two keys, I will be able to then return to this chamber. Or I'm going in a side quest. This feels like we're in a completely different area. So I want to take a moment and try to play this with the mouse and just see what this does. There's something there, and clicking on it with the mouse is fine. That's one of 19 emeralds, so this Maze of Snakes section seems like it's going to be pretty big. But as far as moving, I have to drag myself in a direction. Okay. That's an odd way to put mouse controls. This definitely feels off compared to, say, a point and click game, which arguably this could be a half puzzle, half point and click adventure game. Although, so how do we activate things? Or do we activate things? Am I gonna just walk into the snake and kill it because I'm from behind? That may have been the way it worked in Hitman GO. Like, I can click on the snake and nothing seems to happen. So yeah. Apparently, it's as simple as just clicking and dragging in that direction. And see, this is probably an entire maze designed to show me ways. Wow, that is nice. That is also something you don't see in the reboot series, is you don't see Lara Croft being this hyper acrobatic character. They've stripped her of her uniqueness there to just make her basically a Nathan Drake. Nathan Drake was the of the Uncharted series was the male ripoff of Lara Croft, and instead of keeping Lara as Lara, they've made her a Nathan Drake clone, so she's now a clone of a clone of herself. There's gonna be one more Tomb Raider game in the new series, but then I think maybe they need to go in the old direction. I don't think there's enough room to go in a new direction again, but I think they need to embrace the things that they can embrace of the old games and get back to some basics. But I, again, don't think they're going to actually do that. They've got Crystal Dynamics running the show, and it's allowing them to create a lot of microtransaction mini games, multiplayers, survival modes, zombie modes. Yeah, unless there's some kind of leap of faith mechanic. And I just tried to jump that way and she just said no. So much for that. But that was one puzzle with the mouse, or at least enough of the puzzle with the mouse to know you're much better off playing with a controller. I'm not sure you're any better off playing with a touchscreen. There are a few rare occasions of games that computers that have touchscreens. I don't see a way I can kill these guys. See, if I go here, I get killed. And where does that reset me? So there must be something in... And so we can play actually rather fast. There must be something in the... in activating this switch that, I don't know, drops a boulder or something on them. Well, that just actually shifts you here. Which then, I don't think that there's much of a thing going on. Just have to... I'll have to occasionally remind myself that what left means in this isometric left instead of left meaning actually left. There we go. That was a much longer puzzle. And if we're going to start seeing puzzles like that, then that makes sense. Let's see. Step on these. Step on these. There's also something you don't see in the reboot. Most of the series, it feels like it's going to be criticisms of the reboot. And just in comparison. I can't say for making money that it was inherently the wrong decision to make a first-person shooter game with collectibles in a slightly open world environment. Let's see, this won't kill me, right? And just use the Tomb Raider name to accomplish that. That does make sense. But I certainly, as the player of the game, am not happy with what they've given us. I like the reboot game too. It's mostly Rise of the Tomb Raider that's the problem. Like, had Rise of the Tomb Raider not felt so generic and not really felt like it had improved anything, I would have been pretty happy. So now, let's go ahead and just hit this back here so that we can do this. And I can't walk forward. Oops. May have to start all the way from the beginning again. I'm gonna have to be more careful. If I make mistakes, it's gonna end up costing me too much time. To be really worth it. However, this does feel different. It definitely feels different from whatever was irritating me about the Hitman games. I think part of what was irritating me about the Hitman games was the sound and the music decisions alone. You see, that was a relatively smaller one. And we're being chased by a giant snake that doesn't look like it was animating very well. We can get more Indiana Jones booby traps in the game, certainly. Like, you definitely... I imagine these saws are going to move forward in one motion and then move back based on my actions. So if I go this way, and then this way, and then up here, and then up here, and then here. Let's see, it'll be in 1 to the right when I go right, it'll be 2, it'll be in the middle when I go down, and it will be right in the wrong place. So we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do this. And I'm not sure it's still in the right place, because when I go down it's going to go to the right and still hit me, so we'll do this, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do this. Do that, and then do that, and step off. Looks like this darkened line is something. Ah, I see. So we kill it there. And if I just go up, and then just go up again. Almost missed a collectible. If I just go up again, are my actions before the action of the saw, or the saw actions? My actions are before the saw. So, important to learn the order. This, 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 that, 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 that. I'm gonna say this, and that a lot. So we go here, we go back, we go here, we go up, we go here, and we move forward. The thing about like copying Indiana Jones is that even Indiana Jones really does not live up to the nostalgia I have personally for the movie series. I have in my head some kind of love for something that never really existed. Seems like I'd be kind of fine if I just maybe do that. And I don't like that I have to hit A to collect these things. Like, I kind of wish it would just do it and show it to me and then disappear. And the collectibles don't feel like they're so important that they really deserve or need to pause the entire game. Right. I'm gonna go back here. I'm just gonna, I guess, avoid the blade at all costs. So when we go here, then I have to jump back, then I can jump here, and then I can jump here. And I need to now negotiate this in a way so I can get down to this point, hit that, and I think there's nothing like way off in the screen. I think I can just run forward and run up and I'm fine. Yep. And I'm gonna jump on this and what, jump all the way down there? Well, not jump as much as, I guess, work my way down. It seems sort of obvious that these sections are designed to be kind of randomly connected to other puzzles, so they could have a lot of room to decide which puzzles were too difficult, and which ones were simple enough to be back to back, and there needs to be no connection here. The idea of these Go games makes some really good sense if they were going to be a mobile game with, say, ads where the entire thing is that once a week there would be some new thing, something close to like a tavern brawl in Hearthstone, where once a week you get these tavern brawls. Am I trying to lock the other blade? What am I attempting to accomplish here? Like that lowers that. And I feel like I probably do have to lock something. So do this. And then do this. And then do this. No, that doesn't seem like that does anything. I can't go down, certainly. So let's avoid one blade and assume that we needed the other blade blocked. Seems like that's the case. I don't see any other collectibles. So, yeah, it's right there. Let's see. And good. So we're to now number 6. They're doing a nice little separation of things as far as some puzzles are saws, and then they reintroduce the snakes and keep everything a little bit more interesting. And will the quit thing work? Quit to the main menu. Yes. That's what I want to do. So 5 we got everything, 4 we got everything, 3 we got everything, 2 we got everything, 1 we got everything, and that's for the maze of snakes. For the entrance we got 1, 2, we missed something on 3. I think there's probably not a great reason to go back and try and get all of that. And then 5 is a key to an unknown gate that we'll have to return to later. So we already know that there's not a ton of stuff here. We've already done this. Yeah, there's definitely an issue here with how much you're actually getting. There's too much. A little too expensive, I think this game is. Let's say it's $1.99. I think that might be a good guess. It could be as high as $4.99 usually on Steam. Doesn't seem like you're gonna get more than a couple hours of entertainment out of it, when this game really should have gotten weekly updates and just continued to be supported. And instead of being continuously supported, it did kind of the exact opposite. We didn't unlock anything for collecting some of the stuff, and so I guess there's really nothing else to say or do. This is a good place to end. We've gone 30 minutes, and that's what I'm trying to do as far as episode links for a lot of the games I cover now. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. Frankly, I'd prefer to go for an hour. This game, it doesn't really matter too much since it's going to be pretty short anyways. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Google+, Steam, or Battle.net, all of those links are down below in the description box. I'm asking people to support me by friending me on Steam and either gifting me a game off my wish list or just any random game or a gift card. That's the only monetization I have on my channel right now, so if you're seeing ads for anything else, feel free to skip it. That's somebody else running ads on my channel for some real weird reason. That's it for this recording, so thank you for watching. Have a good evening.